Hi, this is Magina Sorensen, and this is my final presentation for our class ECE 103. What is the inventory of practices? The inventory of practices for promoting social emotional competence is designed to be used by individuals or a team to identify training needs and plan a course of action to address those needs related to four general areas. 1. Building positive relationships. 2. Creating supportive environments. 3. Social emotional teaching strategies. And 4. Individualized intensive interventions. How did I use the inventory of practices in the past? I used the inventory of practices tool as a self-reflection. I check myself to make sure I do everything to do my job. I want to make sure that my students and their families are feeling comfortable and welcome when they enter my classroom. I want my students to feel like they belong in that classroom and don't feel strange or uncomfortable. Building positive relationship is very important to me. According to handout Building Relationship and Creating Supportive Environment, it says, building positive relationship with children is an essential task and fundamental component of good teaching. I agree with it. To me, it is very important to build positive relationship with all of my students. I believe that positive relationship produces a good environment within the classroom, which can be a vital point to the success of both teacher and students. What do I do well to build positive relationship? I try to learn as much as possible about my students. I try to learn about what they like, what their background is, and what they don't like. Every morning I greet all my students by their name, and I always ask them did their what did they do last night, how did that day went, and try to listen carefully all of their answers. Before I start my class, I allowed my students to share and talk to other students about what they did while they were at home. This way, children do not feel rushed and have to be always on topic. At the same time, they're connecting with other children. And throughout the day, I try to give a lot of compliments, hugs, and high fives. I think that makes boost their self-confidence and make them feel good about themselves. Areas for target building positive relationship. My most challenging thing is ignoring. I have hard time ignoring challenging behavior, such as attention-seeking behavior. I know sometimes child can't do anything to get attention, including inappropriate behavior, by doing things they know they should not. They can still get attention. Because if you met at a child and trying to calm them down, you are still paying attention. Sometimes is the best thing is to ignore. However, I understand that I still have hard time ignoring. I still have hard time doing that. Hopefully I will get better. And my action plan is I picked it up something from BCBA book, and I learned that the best way to ignore when children misbehaving is distracting myself. When child starting to misbehave, I will try to pay attention and acknowledge children who is doing what they are supposed to do. I also print out the poster as a reminder to myself that you can see on the right, and hopefully that will help me better ignoring. Creating supportive environment strengths. Each play area has appropriate toys and layout that encourage children to learn while they play. All the toys for children to play are stored in the shelves in the clear containers at the child's reach level. In the classroom, I have real objects for children to play and learn. I have flowers, rocks, mud table, water table. Through these materials, children can explore by using their senses. I like them to explore through natural stuff. I want them to see that flowers can smell and some flowers don't smell, and what happened to them if you don't give enough water to flowers. I probably killed quite a few flowers in my classroom, but we're still learning through that. And children have fun. They see the actual real life things and learn. Hey, areas to target. I need to work on better organizing space in my classroom. My classroom seems crowded and overwhelming. It is not easy to move around because all the shelves are close to each other. It also makes play area to be small and not enough room to play. And I realize that, and I know that. I am a pack rat. I buy every cool things I see in a garage sale or in a thrift stores. If I see cool shelves, I will bring it to my classroom because I think that children could use it. They might have fun with this toy, or they might love to play with that toy. And then eventually it creates a clutter. So I will work on that, and hopefully I will be better. I have an action plan for that, and I picked it up that one from one of our handouts, and I'm planning to use Guide to Space Planning for a handout of pre-K spaces as they recommended to it in 7 steps. 1. Make an overall room plan. 2. Make it the flow. 3. Locate and circle protected corners. 4. Divide into wet and dry regions. 5. Divide into zones. 6. Decide what activity areas are needed and locate them in the appropriate zone. And 7. Create space for each area. Social emotional teaching strategies. I teach and help children to recognize and identify their feelings and emotions. When child is mad, I'll tell them, I see that you are mad. I can tell because your body is tight, your hand is holding a fist, and your voice is loud. By doing this, I can help child recognize that he or she is mad and what it feels like to be mad. And in time, hopefully, when child is mad, they will be able to recognize themselves that they are mad and tell me why they are mad and what can I do to help them. I think it is important as adults for us to help them recognize those feelings so they can get better at it and learn how to deal before it gets to the point where they cannot control themselves. I also help children to make friends. I teach children games that everyone can be involved, like mousetrap or tag. I also teach the share toys and take turns, and lots of children do not like to share their toys or take turns, so I just do with simple steps by using simple ball rolling. I put everyone in a circle and roll ball to each other and say my turn, your turn, and I think that's a first step to teach children that we all can play together with one toy and share and nobody be outside of it. We're all involved and we all have fun. Areas to target. I would like to try suggestions from the book Guidance of the Young Children by Marian Marian to teach emotions vocabulary. We do this by helping children develop an emotions vocabulary, the set of emotions word or labels for our feelings such as angry, jealous, distressed, frustrated, or anxious. I think those are really good words that we don't really teach children, and eventually they don't really know what they feel and how to deal with those feelings. So my goal is for the next school year to try to teach children different emotion vocabulary words. On my action plan is I will use suggestions from the book Guidance of the Young Children to teach children emotion vocabulary. I will provide experiences that are as concrete as possible, relate new words to child's own experience, build relationships, present the new word in different contexts, and present the word several times, not just once or twice. And in one of the classes I took before, I can't remember which one is right now, but they said for child to start comprehending, understanding completely new word, they need to hear that word at least 12 times. So, lots of work to do. And in conclusion of this course, I learned a lots of different things. I really like this class because I feel I can do I can be better and do better my job and be a better teacher. My most favorite thing I learned is building positive relationships. As I said it before, I believe it is very important to have positive relationship with your students. In this class, I learned different ways to build that relationship. I learned that it's not just about the child, it's about the whole surrounding. It's about the culture, where child is coming from, about their family and interest. I can't wait to try some of the strengths that was suggested in the handout, building relationships and creating supportive environment. In the beginning of the next school year, I will make surveys for the families to tell me more about their child. I also will have Star of the Week so children can share about themselves, and I also like the t-shirt idea, writing all the things I like about the child on a t-shirt and let them wear it. I think it's a great idea. In fact, I think I'll do the t-shirt idea on the last day of school. I will make t-shirt for every student I have and hand them out that day, and they can wear, and hopefully throughout the summer or later in life they can look back at the t-shirt and say, oh, my teacher was cool. She really liked me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. I hope you enjoyed. And sorry if you have hard time sometimes understanding me. English is not my first language. And thank you again. Bye.